Your grandmother has promised to give you $5,000 when you graduate from college. She's expecting you to graduate 2 years from now. What happens to the present value of this gift if you delay your graduation by 1 year? Decreases. Everyone sees it decreases? If not, do me a favor. Go to the formula sheet and look up present value. Okay? And it should look something like this. PV equals FVN. What is it, like 1 plus I to the T power? To the N power. Are we okay? Everyone sees that equation? Everyone sees that equation? Okay? So now, let's look at these numbers. That amount that you're going to receive when you graduate, $5,000, does it change or is it constant? It is constant. My numerator is not changing. Did they say anything about the interest rate changing? No. Did they say anything about N changing? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So that's going to get bigger. So if the numerator stays the same and the denominator gets bigger, what happens to your quotient? It gets smaller. Okay? So, and it gives a great example, by the way, of showing you that this was a conceptual question, right? Really just gave you one number. They didn't even have to put the $5,000 in. They could have just said you're getting a lump sum, you know, and you'll get the same amount whenever you graduate. But using the formula sheet to come up with an answer for a conceptual question. So again, if they say present value or future value or annuities, look at the formula sheet and see if it might be able to assist you. Which of the following is not a securities market? This is, I would say, a Chapter 2 Brigham question. Okay, and it's either a definition. You either know it or you don't, what they are. Okay, which of these would not be securities? Securities, money markets are short-term bonds. Capital markets, those would be the long-term bonds and stocks. Second primary market, well, initially is when a company sells stock for the very first time, or bonds, and receives the net cash. Okay? Secondary market is when after the stock or bonds start trading, again, they're trading, so it is a marketplace. The difference between a primary and secondary market is the cash in the secondary market, the cash transactions between investor and investor versus investor to whoever the issuing company is. So in this case, a Dow Jones market is not a security market. Okay? So do you please remember, I think it looked like there were 3 or 4 questions from Chapter 2. You know, on the final when we looked at that summary. So please, you know, make sure you read Chapter 2. Questions? Okay, today you earn a salary of $36,000. What will be your annual salary 12 years from now if you earn annual raises of 3.6%? Okay, what does that $36,000 represent?
Previous value.
The
Previous value.
Present value. Okay, what are we looking for? Future value. This is a piece of cake, right? Here's my present value. I'm looking for my future value. This number goes into what?
I sub y.
I sub y. What's that, 12? N. Is this an annuity? So the payment is 0, correct? Good? All right. So that's pretty much just, you can easily plug it in, hopefully, into your 3rd row. Hey, whatever, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It is? Okay. 14 years ago, your parents set aside $7,500 to fund your college education. Today, that fund is valued at $26,180. What is the rate of interest being earned on this account? Okay? So, what does that $7,500 represent?
Present value?
Your present value. And again, I've often told you, think of the present value as the beginning value, right? That's the beginning value of this account. What does the $26,180 represent?
Future value.
Future value, correct. All right. N is where does that go into? N, right? 14. Yeah, 14 goes into N, okay? This is not an annuity. Payment is equal to 0. and you calculate I sub y. The only trick that you have here is to remember what? One of these numbers has to be negative, and payment is 0. Okay? Is there any issue with interpreting this question? No? Okay. Sorensen's system is expected to pay $2.50 at the end of the year. The dividend is expected to grow at a constant growth rate of 5.5%. Now, dividend, you hear if it pays a dividend and you see a constant growth rate? So what should you immediately be thinking of?
Gordon model.
The Gordon model. Very good. Everyone's got that?
Too smart.
So let me just put that up here. Odds are, and I'll put the most general version of it up here, that you're going to need to use this either for your final solution or a way to get to that final solution. All right? Now let's see. Dividend out, and the stock currently sells for $37.50. The before cost of debt is 7.5%. The tax rate is 40%. Target capital structure is this and that. What is your company's WACC?
So we have to do all 3 of those parts? Is that what it wants us to do?
Yes. So this is a 8-2-part question, whether you realize it or not. Ultimately, what is it they're asking you to solve?
For the whack.
The
whack.
whack. Okay, everyone sees that. First thing. So let me just write this up here. WACC equals, and I'm going to break this down so that,
What's the underneath?
okay, here's 1 minus t, and I'm going to add 1c, r sub c. Okay, by the way, do they mention preferred stock up here? Yes or no?
No.
So do I include it in my WACC? I do not.
No.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right. So did they give me what my weighting is for the debt? Yes or no?
Yes.
And that is?
45.
45. 0.45. And for the stock, 0.55. Are we good so far? All right. Now let's see. The before tax cost of debt, 7.5. Remember, that would be your yield to maturity. And do they give me a tax rate? 1 minus 0.4. Okay, are we okay? See where we got all those numbers? Good? No, you put 7.5. Okay, good?
Yeah,
Good?
the weighting.
Now, did they give us our required return on our stock? Did they?
No.
No, but did they give us a way to calculate it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so go back to the Gordon model here. So ultimately, that is what we want to solve for, correct? Good? So, how do I do that? With a little cross multiplication, it looks something like D1, P0 plus G. Did they give us D1?
Yes.
Okay. Did they give us a current price on the stock?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, they did. Did they give us a growth rate of the dividend? All right. So can I solve for R?
Yes.
And then I just take this number and insert it down here. X, I'll call it. All right. And now I can calculate my WACC. Are we all right with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions on how to interpret this?
Where's the growth at?
Okay, you estimate that you will owe $45,300 in student loans by the time that you graduate. The interest rate is 4.25%. If you want to have this debt paid in full within 10 years, how much must you pay each month? Okay, so what sort of problem is this?
This is like a problem where you have to calculate the payments.
Exactly. So it's an annuity problem, as Rachel said. Okay. Okay. This, remember, student loans, mortgages, car loans. Those are all consumer loans. Okay. And as well as you might see one of these problems where, hey, you just won the lottery. You can receive 20 years worth of annual payments or something today. Okay. Series of payments. All 4 of those series of payments you need to calculate what the payments are. Alright, so let's tackle this right now. PVFV payment and I sub y. Okay, what is our present value in this case? What is our beginning value?
45.
45,300. Okay? And what is our future value, please?
0.
0. The loans are going to be paid off. Okay, I'm looking to calculate, as Rachel said, the payments. And how often do the payments occur?
Monthly.
Monthly, so it's going to be dollars per month. Everyone sees that? All right. What does that 4.25% represent? 4.25% per what?
Is that per year?
That's my question to you.
That's per year, so you gotta divide it by 12.
It is per year,
this
right?
Is so nice.
Okay, so I sub y is going to be 4.25 divided by what number? 12. Are we okay with that? Good? All right. Now, how many monthly payments are you going to make? 120 monthly payments. Okay, I'll put M payments right here. Are we good? So you just plug those numbers in and you come up with an answer. Is B $464? Good? Okay. Again, 16 looks like one of those potential Chapter 2 problem questions, I should say. Which of the following is an example of a capital market instrument? Okay? Capital markets usually is the one, anyone want to take a guess which one we have not even spoken about?
Bankers acceptance.
Banker's acceptance.
What the heck is that?
Banker's acceptance, it deals with, I think, import-export.
So is that the answer?
No.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
No, it is not. I do
No.
apologize. Which is an example? Okay, is an example of a capital market. What else might you think of? Capital markets. Think of.
I say treasury bills, mutual fund. I mean, they're all kind of capital markets. There's money being traded.
Yeah, I would go with preferred stock.
But you can trade treasury bills too.
I know.
Why?
I know. I don't like that.
So, like, what's your reasoning behind
Yeah, we
preferred
can throw
stock?
that one out again. If I look at, I haven't seen the question, so I don't know.
Like, why would you choose C?
Well, for one thing, think of it. When we talked about going back to weighted average cost of capital, correct? We had the three choices were equity, preferred stock, and debt.
Oh, okay.
So that's what my thought would be.
So that makes sense.
Okay? Yes.
So when you see our exam, if there's something like this where it's unclear what the answer is, will you like take that off of our
Yes.
scoring?
Okay?
Okay.
All right. And the way to do that, Christine, is this. I might just say, it's a crappy question. Go answer. Everybody answer it as you normally would, and then they just give everybody
The points.
extra points. So if you happen to get it right,
You get to
you get extra credit. Okay?
Okay.
Because the other way is if I said nobody answer this or everybody answer it right, the folks back in the finance department will say, "Oh, everybody got this right,"
so they'll reuse it.
and so they'll reuse it exactly. Right? Right. So which of the following statements is correct? The cash flows for an ordinary annuity all occur at the beginning of the periods. True or false?
False.
False, right? Remember, ordinary annuity, think of 0, that's what I get at the beginning. If a series of unequal cash flows occurs at regular intervals, such as once a year, then the series is by
No.
definition an
False.
annuity.
False.
What makes it false?
Unequal.
Unequal, correct? The cash flows of an annuity due must all occur at the end of the periods. True or false?
False.
Well, they're
False. They occur at the beginning.
Beginning.
All right. The cash flows for an annuity must all be equal
True.
and must occur at regular intervals, such as once a year or once a month.
True.
True. Okay. They just said annuity. They didn't say ordinary annuity. They didn't say annuity due. Right. All right. And if some cash flows occur at the beginning of the period as well as occur at the end, then we have what the textbook defines as an ordinary annuity. Okay. Are we good with that? Okay. You recently sold $200 of Disney stock, and the transfer is made through a broker. This is an example of what sort of transaction?
Secondary market.
A secondary market.
Why?
Why? Great question. First off, a money market has nothing to do with stock. It is just short-term, what they would call commercial paper. It's usually 12 months or less. In the real life, probably 6 months or less, and it's debt, not stock. Okay, a futures transaction, that's a derivative. I always have difficulty saying that, okay? Primary and secondary transactions, as I mentioned to you before, was primary market is when, or primary transaction market is when a company initially sells stock to its investors and the company gets the net proceeds. The investors pay it, investment bankers take out their pound of flesh, but the company gets the money, okay? The second one here, okay, recently sold $200 and it was made through a broker. In other words, he's finding somebody else, an investor on the other side. When, funds are exchanged from investor to investor, that is a secondary market transaction. Are we okay with that? Yes.
I just have a quick question. You said, so primary market's when it's the company's first selling stock. Would you say that another way you can commit, it's like an IPO, the
Yes,
initial public offering?
exactly. Oh, but there's also secondary offers.
Okay,
Okay, in other words, the company wants to sell some more stock.
right, okay,
So that would be okay, we good?
thanks.
You're okay. Okay, which of the following is correct? Two firms with the same expected dividend and growth rate must also have the same stock price. What do you think, true or false? No, it doesn't. Okay. It is appropriate to use a constant growth model to estimate a stock's value, even if its growth rate is never expected to
That
be
is
constant.
so false. That makes no sense.
False.
What?
That's false.
Okay, thank
That
you.
just makes,
Okay,
why would
everybody
I
sees
even
that?
choose that one?
Feels comfortable with it? Okay, the stock valuation model, and I'm giving it to you, otherwise as known as a Gordon model, can be used only for firms whose growth rate exceeds the required return. True or false? False. What happens if the growth rate does exceed the required return? You get a what? A negative number, correct? All right. The price of a stock is the present value of all the expected future dividends discounted at the dividend growth rate. True or false?
False.
False. What's it discounted at? The required return. At the required return. Okay? The constant growth model can be used for zero growth stocks where the dividend is expected to remain constant over time. True or false? True. Okay, remember, one of the conditions to use the constant growth model, the easy ones where a company pays a dividend, R, the required return has to be greater than G, the growth of the dividend, but G, as long as it is constant, it can be a negative number, it can be a positive number, or it can just be zero. Okay, so it is E. Are we all right with that? Good? Okay, your grandmother is gifting you $125 at the end of each month for 4 years while you attend college to earn a bachelor's degree. At 6.5% APR, that just stands for annual percent rate. Okay, what are these payments worth to you on the day that you enter college? Okay, so what sort of problem is this? It's a... Yeah, does everyone understand why it's an annuity problem?
Constant.
Okay, what makes it an annuity problem? What is it?
Constant payment.
Monthly payments, and it's just one number, correct? So there you go. It's a series of payments, occur on a regular basis, monthly, and it doesn't change. $125. Are we good? All right. So, by the way, let's check this out. What are they? We have PV, FE, payment, N, and I sub Y. Okay, so what's $125 represent? The what? Don't listen to that man. What else?
Payment.
Payment, exactly. $125 per month. Are we good so far? All right, now, how many monthly payments are you going to receive? You see, I assume you're
12 times 4.
12 times 4, 48, okay? 48 monthly payments, I'll just put M there, okay? I sub Y?
6.5. Divided by 12.
6.5 divided by what number?
12.
12, exactly. 6.5 is annual, we divide it by 12. Are we good so far?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, what am I looking for, the future value or the present value?
Future value.
Yeah? We're looking, okay, so what does it say?
Oh,
What
no,
are these
present.
payments worth when?
When you enter.
When we enter college. Everybody sees that? When we enter college. Yes, this stuff is going to happen in the future, but we want to know what's it worth on the day that we enter college. So what are we looking to solve for? Present value, exactly. And what is my future value in this case? 0. Okay, now, what's the other thing that we need to tell the calculator? Sorry? Not the payment, okay. I don't care about the payment, that's not good. What else do we need to tell the calculator? What was that, Adam? N versus beginning. Remember, anytime we put a number into the payment key or we're calculating the payment key, we have to tell the calculator what? Beginning or end mode. So in this case, what is it?
End mode.
The end mode. What makes it the end mode?
Well, that's the standard mode though, so don't change it.
It's the ordinary annuity, so you get the end of each month.
Exactly, at the end of each month. So we're in the end mode. And as Stephen pointed out, that is typically what the calculator is defaulted to. You do not see any writing. You do not see the letters BGN over your numbers. Are we okay with that? Good? All right. I don't know what the number is. I don't know what the answer is here. B. Okay. The Ramirez Company's last dividend was $1.75. Okay? When we talk about last dividend, is that D0 or D1?
0.
D0. Everyone's got that? Last dividend. Its dividend growth rate is expected to be constant at 24% for 2 years, after which the dividends are expected to grow at a rate of 6% forever. Its required return is 12%. What is the best estimate of the current stock price? Okay, what sort of problem is this?
The P0. You're finding
P0.
You're finding P0.
Okay? Now, let's check this out here. Rachel said P0, correct? So let's see if we can use the Gordon model. Thanks, Julia. The Gordon model. Okay? First off, does the company pay a dividend? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Is that dividend constant?
No.
No. So we can't use a Gordon model. Everyone sees that? We have two growth rates here. We have 24%, and then we have 6%. Are we good? Everyone sees that? So, let's see if we can go ahead and solve for this. Okay. Okay, D0 was what number, please?
175?
175, okay. And it's supposed to grow by how much?
24%.
24%. Okay, that's 0.24. For how many years?
2.
2. And then what happens after that?
6%.
6%. Is 6% the constant growth rate? Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. The reason I put this down here is I'm going to use this, again, this is the way that I would just, help me figure out how I'm gonna go ahead and multiply something here. So, this is a non-constant growth dividend model. Does everyone see that? Good? Alright. So, the first step for solving a non-constant growth dividend model is to do what? I drew out the
The timeline.
dividends until what? And what's that supposed to show me?
The first year that uses the constant growth.
Exactly. The first dividend that is going to use the, in this case, 6%. Okay? So what dividend is the first dividend that has been multiplied by simply 1.06? Which one is that? D1, D2, or D3? Everybody sees that? Okay. So I'm going to calculate D3, and then that says that, hey, after time 2, beginning with D3, the company now pays a dividend. The dividend is growing at a constant growth rate, 6% forever, and R, the required return, 12% is greater than the growth rate, 6%. So I can, after time 2, I can now start using the constant growth model. Are we okay with that? Yes, no? All right. So let's go ahead. To get from D0 to D1, I multiply $1.75 times 1.24. Can someone give me a number for that, please? Kenny says $2.17. I'm going to put it up here. $2.17 times 1.24. 2.6? 2.69? Thank you. And now it's 6%. 2.69 times 2.85, okay? 2.85, hopefully you can see that. Okay, we good?
Yep.
D3 is now used to calculate what?
The price at 2.
The price at time 2. Everyone sees that. Okay? So, and again, where does that come from? dt plus 1 r minus g. If we're looking at D3, I do apologize. T has to equal 2. Are we good so far? All right, so what is the price? So, $2.85. Is it 0.12 minus 0.06? Is that correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. So the price at time 2 is equal to what? Say that again, please, Michael. $47.50. Is that correct? Yes or no? Good? Yes, Shelby.
Just saying real quick, if you don't round your numbers, it is 47.54.
If you don't run there, okay, 47.54.
That's what it is on the multiple choice.
Okay, then let's not round the numbers, okay?
I don't mean to be nitpicky, but that's just.
No, no, no,
what the
that's fine.
answer is on multiple choice.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay? Are we good? Now, are we done? No. What's the last step that we have?
Well, that's the answer though.
No, you want to find P0.
Oh, yeah, wait. Oh, okay, you guys
Wait.
skip. I'm sorry. Okay, what is P sub 2?
That's the price at year 2. It's not the current stock price.
Yeah, you
That's
want
the
to.
answer to that equation right there.
Yeah, you want to find P0 though. So that's not it.
So we don't have to do all
So
that.
you have, yeah, you still do, because you have to put it, don't you have to do net present value?
Yeah, you have to use the net present value.
So you
exactly.
still need to find that price, and then you have to put it in your calculator.
Okay,
That's net present
now,
value.
hold it. Now, wait a second. Let's see what happens if you just went down the wrong path and you just put up a nice question that looks nice for you, okay? So what is P sub 2? Please, is that 47? I don't have the answer.
Yeah.
47 and a half. 47 and a half.
47.54.
All right? Now, let's look, as Rachel said, we have to now put our numbers into the cash flow key, correct?
Yeah.
Now, here's, again, the tricky part. What cash flows occur in year 1? The dividend and only the dividend,
Yeah.
right? So, let's go to our cash flow key. Okay, you probably have a number in there for C0, CF0, right? Okay, put a 0 in there. We don't want to solve for that. Okay, That's what we're actually, we're not inputting that number, we're actually solving for that. So CF0 is equal to 0. Are we okay with that? Now you go down to the first C01. What is my first cash flow? The $2.17 dividend. So please enter $2.17. Are we good to go? Good? How many cash flows occur at year 2? 2. I have a dividend of $2.69 plus a potential sales price of $47.54. So add these two up, please. And again, and then enter it. So how can I do that? I just go to C02, 2.69 plus 47.54 equals, and whatever number I come up with, $50 and change, I now hit enter. Are we good? Good? Okay, now, do me a favor, make sure there's nothing in C03. If there is, just put a 0 and hit enter, and then check again to make sure there's nothing in C04. Are we all right with that? Good? Okay, now that we've got our cash flows in there, go to NPV key, and what are we entering in for I? 12%. And we come up with? E.
41.98.
41.98. Are we okay with that? Yes.
So for the cash flows, do you not use 1.75?
No, because 1.75 just paid, right?
Okay, so
You're thinking of buying the stock today.
So you just use 2.17.
Correct. It's going forward. Okay. Are we good? Good? Okay, so let's look at this now. Okay, today you borrowed $6,200 on your credit card to purchase some furniture. The interest rate is 14.9% compounded monthly. What's that 14.9% though? Compounded what? This is per what?
Year.
Year.
So you divide it.
That's right. Now we're compounding monthly, but remember this is annual, not monthly. This is annual, okay? So how long will it take you to pay off this debt, assuming that you do not change anything else and make regular payments of $120? Okay, so what sort of problem is this?
Annuity.
An annuity problem, okay? It's a consumer loan problem, so the assumption is that we're going to be looking at an ordinary annuity. Are we good? So let's set this up. Do we have a number for present value? Yes or no?
Yes.
What is that number?
6,200?
6,200. Okay, I'm getting that money today. If you would, we'll keep it positive. Okay, we're getting that money. It's a loan. All right. What's our future value going to be? 0. We're paying off that loan. Okay. Any number for payment? Yes or no? 120. It's coming out of our pocket, so we're making a negative $120 monthly. Okay. Are we good with that? All right. Do we know how many months? That's what we're trying to find out. And I sub y? 14.9 divided by 12. Are we okay with that? Yes or no? So I don't know what the answer is. Let me know. And again, beginning or the end mode? End mode is a consumer loan. Okay? Yes, Rachel.
So is it going to give you your answer in years? Or
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Oh, no, that's a good point.
They
That's
do
a good
it
point.
in
Right.
months, so you have to divide it by, or
Right, so what
Yeah.
Rachel says is exactly correct, is it's going to give it that in months, because we're using months here, and we need to divide it by 12. Okay, we good? So, what'd you come out with, C, 6.93?
Yep.
Good? Okay, you are scheduled to receive annual payments of $5,100 for each of the next 7 years. The discount rate is 10%. What is the difference in the present value if you receive these problems at the beginning of the year versus the end of the year? Okay, so what sort of problem is this? We're comparing what? annuities, where we're comparing an ordinary annuity and annuity due, correct? Are we good? Excuse me, so if you want, we can just set this up. PV, FV, payment, and I sub y. Okay, there's two ways that you can solve for this if you want to. First thing is, first off, does everyone see why this is an annuity problem? Any questions as to why it's not? Okay. Let's look at it from an ordinary annuity perspective. Ordinary. What is the present value? Present value?
We got 5
Zero.
now.
Okay. And if you don't see that, we'll come back to that shortly. What's the $5,100? What variable is that? Payments, right? That's the series of payments that I'm going to receive, $5,100. Are we good? Right. How many payments will we receive? 7. Notice everything is in annual, so I'm not playing around with time. Okay? I sub y is equal to what? 10. Okay? Now, what am I actually looking to solve for here?
Future value?
Or present value.
Present value, correct? Right? Everyone sees that? Now, on the future value, is there any number that goes in? Yes or no?
0.
0. Why? Because you ask yourself, in addition to these 7 $5,100 payments, is there anything else that you're receiving or paying in the future? What's the answer? No. So future value is 0. Okay? Now, if you're in the end mode, we're in the ordinary mode. So go ahead, please, and solve for that. What's present value?
Is it 24,828?
I don't know. 24,828. This is only half the
We'll
problem.
compare.
Correct? Okay. Now, let's go and do the same thing here.
Oh, the end.
Same exact numbers, but we're going to go to the beginning mode. And then I'm going to show you another way of calculating this. Okay? So 0, 5,100, 7, I sub y is equal to 10, and our present value comes out to be?
We can't remember how to go to beginning mode, I don't think.
Okay? Okay. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go to your formula sheet right now. Okay? Look for there are 2 equations dealing with annuity. I think 3 equations dealing with an annuity. All right? Okay. Do you see this one that says annuity due equals ordinary annuity? Everyone sees that one right here?
Yep.
All right. Let's go ahead and use this one. So we don't have to go into the beginning mode. What is our ordinary annuity value? 24,828. Is that okay? Good? You want to know what the annuity due amount is? Multiply it by 1 point.
Times I.
What is it? 1.10. Okay? Are we good so far? Yes? No? Okay. And what number do you come out for that, please?
Is it 27,311?
27,311. Is that correct? Yes or no? Good. All right. Now, what's the difference between those two?
22,483.
Perfect. Got
Is that
it?
one of the answers?
Sorry?
That was
Yeah,
a-
A. Okay, good. Now for this, you could have done it a little easier, one step more. You could have taken this 1 out and just said it's a 10% increase, right? It had 1 extra year to grow. But what we did was fine. All right, we're good? Everyone sees that? That again is why I like this equation up here. Because I don't have to worry about having to get into the beginning mode nor the end mode. Questions on that? Okay, Lorraine won a lottery. Congratulations. She will have a choice of receiving $2,500 at the end of each year for the next 30 years, or a lump sum today. She can earn 10% on her investment she makes. What is the minimum amount that she's willing to accept today as a lump sum payment? Julian, what sort of problem is this?
This is Gordon Mado.
Don't listen to that man.
Annuity.
It's an annuity.
I was joking. I just wanted to see like my vocals. That's all.
Okay, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, this course that we're having right now does not count towards class participation. All right? Just to let you know.
What?
What? He's just testing out his vocals. That's all he said.
No.
I told him to say that was messing with
Oh.
I was wrong.
But not for you, Rachel. I was just saying what Julie was doing. He's like, I was just saying my vocals.
I only have a 1.8.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to get that 3.
All right, here we go. Excellent. So, this is an annuity. What makes it an annuity? Payments. Notice we have payments. Okay? She was receiving multiple payments, and they occur on a regular basis, and they're equal. Julian, help us out here. All right? So, Julian, ultimately, what is it that we are going to solve for here?
Give me a second. We got to solve for present value.
Exactly. We're solving for what she's willing to receive today. Are we good? Excellent. So what's that $25,000 represent, Julian?
The future value. I mean the payments.
The payments. All right? Are we good? How many payments are we going to, how many annual payments are we going to receive over the next 30 years, by the way? 30. All right? Now, I sub y is going to equal to what? 10. Okay, in addition to these 30 payments of $25,000, is there anything we're paying or receiving in the future? No. So our future value is equal to what?
0.
0. Last bit of information we need for this annuity problem is what? Beginning or the end. And it is the end mode. It tells us that, right? At the end of each year for the next 30 years. So that's how it sets up. I'm not sure what the number is.
D.
It is E?
D.
D? G, delta, okay, 235,000. Good? Okay, assume that the interest rate on a 20-year treasury and corporate bonds with the same maturities and have the different ratings. All are non-callable. Sorry? That's okay, we've done, okay. Treasury, so what they're saying is you have a 20-year treasury bond, a 20-year AAA bond, a 20-year single A bond, and a 20-year triple B bond. Okay? The difference in rates among these is probably primarily due to what?
Is it C?
C? What do you think? C, exactly. Okay, by the way, making them all 20 years, that says the maturity risk premium is the same, right? They all mature on the same exact time, all right?
Yes.
And okay, inflation difference, remember, that affects all the bonds equally, as does, and there is no real risk-free rate difference because today everything uses the same risk-free rate. And that can be even for stocks, okay? So again, default and liquidity risk premium. Questions on that?
Whoa.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are those arrows greater than symbols?
These are greater than symbols.
Oh my goodness.
E?
For a typical firm, which of the following sequence is correct? Now, first off, notice it says all rates are what? After tax, correct? Correct? All right, now, and assume that the firm operates at its target capital structure. I don't even know what that has to do with it. What am I, so go to WACC if you wouldn't mind, that equation, and tell me what our three R sub D's are. Okay, we have WACC,
Debt.
debt,
Preferred.
debt, R sub B preferred, and
Wait a second.
what was the last one? Common equity,
Either C
okay?
or E.
Are we okay with that? Yes, no? Which one of
Half is
these,
greater than
without
half.
looking at WACC, because it is a combination, which one of these has the highest required return? The highest. Which is the most risky? Equity. Everyone sees that. Equity, this has the highest risk, so therefore this will demand the highest return. Are we okay with that? Yes or no? All right. What is the lowest between debt and preferred? Debt. So this is the lowest. Okay? And this is in the middle, right? Medium. Are we okay so far? Now, where's the WACC going to fall?
In the front.
Beginning.
Somewhere between what?
Well, isn't WAC combined of everything?
It does.
So-
So it's not going to be the highest, correct? And it's not going to be the lowest.
So is the average?
It could be,
But
depending on what the weighted average cost of what the weightings are.
It's because it depends on the weighting.
No. We have, remember, okay? So all I'm saying is this, for the WACC, since it's a combination of all of them, it's not gonna be the highest, nor is it gonna be the lowest. All right? It's gonna be one of the two in the middle, or it should be, all right? And so that's this right here. Okay, the R sub S, by the way, is stock as well. Equity and stock, okay, greater than, I think that's what it looks like.
yeah.
So just remember that you gotta do one
All right?
I think is this gonna be the same like set of answers, or we can just kinda like say, oh, it's the one with black in the middle?
Well, we just, how do we come up with that? We just looked at it again. It's not going to be the highest, somewhere between the highest and the lowest. And that's what you got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
when we're saying sequences, it's like, I was thinking you gotta find this and then you gotta follow the chain and get to something. That's what I was thinking when I saw sequence.
Well, that's how I just came up with it. Because they don't tell us, you know, they don't tell us what the, in fact, they don't even put preferred stock in here.
You need to check your colleague that
Love.
Okay?
Where is W? What is the answer?
A. So it's RERS WAC
Okay, 27.
RD.
Okay, suppose that the real risk-free rate is 4.2%, the average expected inflation rate is 2.5%, the maturity risk premium is 0.1 per year to maturity. In other words, they're giving you that equation there, where T is the number of years. What return would you expect for a 4-year Treasury security? Okay? So, which equation would we use for this one? It's on your formula sheet. Exactly. All right, so what Devin is saying is, I can't, here it is. Got it? That equation right there. Okay? So, it's gone, the equation. Right? So it should be, it's pretty much, it's very easy. All I have to do is plug the numbers in. The only extra calculation you have is going to be calculating the maturity risk premium. Okay? At 0.1% per year, over 4 years, that comes out to be 0.4%. Okay? So it should be 4.2 plus 2.5 4.2, 2.5 plus 4 times 0.4, so that comes out to be, what is it? Which
Wait.
one of those? 2.9, 3.9, wait, 2.9, I apologize. It comes out to be 7.1, yes?
Yeah.
You got it?
No, I'm lost. So is 4.2 plus 2.5
Mm-hmm. Plus
0.4 plus 0.4.
4.4, 0.1 times 4. Are we good? Good? Questions on that? Questions? Okay. So, all right, so that's the end. It's time to go. I know you were having so much fun.
No, really was. That was a lot.